Revolution.
What's good? It's your boy Sam, and here with viral hip-hop news. Los Angeles Lakers rookie Lonzo Ball is not backing down from his controversial comments he made against hip-hop icon Nas, in which he said the rap vet is outdated and Migos and Future are real hip-hop. Now, earlier in the week, Viral Hip Hop News dropped a video where you seen Lonzo Ball basically coming out and saying Nas ain't real hip-hop, Migos and Future are real hip-hop. No one listens to Nas anymore. Nas had his response basically with his representative coming out calling Lonzo an oatmeal-faced, pill-faced motherfucker. You don't know nothing about real hip-hop, stay in your place. And obviously Twitter and everyone throughout the week has had their fucking way with Lonzo Ball, running him through the rugs, talking major shit, basically taking his hip-hop card and throwing that motherfucker in the garbage. You aren't allowed to talk about hip-hop. Everyone from T.I. to Lil B, you name it, they came out and roasted the shit out of Lonzo Ball, including myself. But Lonzo Ball isn't backing down from his statements. Here's what he said. In a recent interview with ESPN LA, Lonzo tried to clarify his remarks, but remains his notions that nobody is listening to Nas anymore are true. Quote, Lonzo, they told me that the goal for the next 2 months was to get me to listen to real hip-hop. That's not going to happen. And the first person that popped in my head was Nas, because obviously he's real hip-hop. So I'm like, no one listens to Nas no more. Which I think is true, because of my friends, ain't nobody bumping Nas anymore. He continued, no disrespect to him, he had his time. I think it's a new time. And then the next question was, what is real hip-hop to you? And he said, Future and Migos. So that's what everyone got crazy about. That's what he's saying, that they took that piece of his information and ran with it. Obviously, we seen Lil B come out and basically say he's going to put a hex on his ass and the whole Lakers squad if he has anything blasphemous to say like that again. Lonzo took his share of bashment and fucking people just thrashing his ass, but he stood tall in his statement. And I want to retract my statement from Lonzo a little bit. Here's why. Now, I'm obviously a hip-hop head. I'm from the 90s era. I grew up on your Pacs, your Bigs, your Big Puns, your Big L's, your Nas's, your Jay-Z's. These were the dudes that I rolled with, Busta Rhymes, to name a few, growing up in that era where hip-hop was just at its best. But I'm going to tell you something. And as a young boy, you know what I mean? And I honestly, I wasn't really listening to your KRS-Ones and your Big Daddy Kanes, but I never threw shade at them because our uncles and my mom and my dad, my pops, all these people were in my household early, so I paid homage early, even though that wasn't the era I grew up in. Now, you go into the 2000s, and you got your Lil Jons and the East Side Boys, you got your Yin Yang Twins, you got your Bad Boys East with Young Jeezy. It was a South movement coming on crazy, and a lot of cats from East Coast and a lot of cats that weren't really into that kind of music, you know what I mean, they shunned that, including Nas. In his record, Hip Hop is Dead. Now, I gotta try to find the archive, but I remember as a kid listening to Jeezy on the radio, basically coming at Nas's throat, saying if he thinks hip hop is dead, come down to Georgia and say it to his face, you know what I mean? Really taking that seriously and trying to rep his era and rep the South hard at the time in the early 2000s. I think that's no different than what's going on here. Now, the disconnect with this era, the 90s era, the Big era, the Pac era, the Pun era, the Nas era, the whole era, and this new Migos, Future, your little Yachty, 21 Savage ass era, is this a cultural difference? The skinny jeans, the blouses, the shit all over your face, like it's hard to understand. So as an adult, as a 20-year-old, as a 30-year-old, you're looking at this shit like, what the fuck are they doing? But a young boy can understand and relate to it. So you can, honestly, you gotta appreciate almost what Lonzo Ball is saying, because he's not backtracking off his statement. Now, he's ignorant as fuck. He's a little stupid motherfucker. He needs to be schooled on what real hip-hop is so that he can have an accurate statement and have some accurate and valid points to what he's saying, so people ain't sitting there throwing him under the rug. You can't say Nas is garbage, bro. You cannot say a legend like Nas is garbage, like I alluded to earlier. I wasn't a Big Daddy Kane. I wasn't a KRS-One. I wasn't a Slick Rick listener, but I paid homage to these men because they were the people that I came up on. My parents and my uncles, and you know what I mean, they came up on them. So even though they weren't the first thing in my tape deck or on my CD player back then, you feel me, I definitely paid homage to these dudes as I was listening to my Pacs, as I was listening to my Biggies, my Big L's, my Big Puns, because these are the people that motivated them. So young man, before you go out and say that Migos and Future are real hip-hop and Nas ain't, you pay attention to who the fuck they came up with and who they pay homage to before you say a statement like that. I'm going to leave it at that. Y'all leave a comment in the comment section right now. Let me know what y'all think about what Lonzo Ball said in the commentary y'all heard today. Also, while y'all down there, go down to the description box to subscribe to the fastest and hottest rising channel on YouTube today, Viral Hip Hop News. Also, subscribe to our Twitter, which is also in the description box, at Viral Hip Hop News. And one more thing, go to our homepage, hit the bell to the right 2 times to get all the latest notifications from Viral Hip Hop News as soon as they come off the press, hot and ready to go. Always keeping it raw, real, uncut, if it's up to the people. It is viral. Viral Hip Hop News. Subscribe right now.
Like nigga, we made it. Oh, what a wonderful feeling.
Viral.
The feeling to be one. The feeling to be revolution. The feeling to be. Oh, what a wonderful feeling. Nigga, we made it. The feeling to be one. Fuck y'all. The feeling to be.